Alrighty. Okay, let me get this out the way right quick. The thing is, I've said this already, but just in case, I've sobered up a little bit, so to speak, from my drunkenness of LARP by saying, "Oh, well, America should fall," and I've realized more and more. I think that would not be the best thing because, yeah, I mean, the thing is that the United States would just be replaced by a different country. And maybe that's more of a lib sort of answer. You can feel as you want to about China, you can feel as you want to about Russia, but the thing is that another country will simply step into the role of America. I mean, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Would China or Russia be better than America and treat people better? I don't know. That's the whole question, isn't it? So I'm trying to be realistic about it. And of course, it's just easy to say China and Russia because obviously they are two of the biggest countries on the planet. They have more clout. They have more money. But anyways, I would say that maybe the United States collapsing and balkanization may not be the best option. Like I say, you can disagree and say, cringe, bro, that's wrong. But it's like, maybe I don't want that to happen. Maybe I don't want it to. And there were a lot of questions I had deep down, but I still, once you're drunk, do you think about all the details of something? No, of course not. You're just like, oh, well, this is what I really believe. But now that I think about it, it may not be the best option. But whatever does happen, it happens. And we're all going to have to make do with what we've done and, make do with what is around us. So I think that's all I can really say. I just want to make that short little video just to say that, yeah, maybe an unpopular opinion to be like, oh, well, maybe balkanization wouldn't be the greatest thing. But whatever happens, happens. Once again, I'll say what I've always said is that, I don't want the violence to happen. Nobody does because, yeah, it may come to our doorstep. And, you may get your head cracked. But it's going to happen. It just depends on how nasty it's going to be. And the thing is, you can LARP that, oh, well, America falling is going to be great, this and that, rah. But it's like, would it? I don't know. It's like, to me, that the damage will be done, yeah. I don't think it'll happen, yeah. It's more likely a Hunter-style state or states would happen, I think. Yeah, that's probably true. Like I say, I mean, I loved as much as anybody else on it, and I just kind of took the cue from a lot of folks, but I think it'd be unrealistic. And I just, maybe I've gotten a bit older, and I just kind of like, maybe that's not the best option. It's kind of like, yeah, I see the UK, EU moving in before Russia. Yeah, that's probably true. Like I say, it's easy for me to just be lazy and be like, oh, China and Russia, but yeah, maybe the EU. Maybe there are other nations. I think that's kind of cringe to, or kind of lazy thinking, kind of lazy conspiracy theorists thinking, it's like, well, China and Russia are just, So that's fair. Let's see here. And balkanization would lead to a lot of weak places like Oklahoma to get worse a lot later, and the emergence of things like cartels, especially since the population in these areas are naive, more individualist, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Another thing too, especially with Oklahoma, the thing is that these native, the various tribes, whether it's Comanche Nation or whether, they would have their own little private armies and everything else. And then it's like, hey, you can come to my casino, but yeah, you gotta pay more than that, So especially, because obviously me being a resident of Texas near the Oklahoma border, you hear that phrase, of course, you're going across the river. So yeah, you got, what is it? Comanche Nation Casino. You got, even that Lawton Fort Sill Casino. That's right there. within the city limits. That place has got, big old hotel right next to it. And yeah, I mean, that would probably be more realistic. Yeah. Well, like you say, yeah, things like cartels. And I imagine that the various tribes that own it, whether it's the Comanche Nation or whether it's, Chickasaw. Yeah, Chickasaw Nation. That's the other one that has a casino, I think. But yeah. So it may not be the best thing. It's a lot of LARP. It's nice to think about that and be like, yeah, we'd be free from all this evil stuff and we'd be depressed. We wouldn't be as depressed and we'd, go out guns a-blazing. But it's like, if you really, as you get older, you're like, maybe that's not the best, idea. And, sometimes I'm trying to be at least realistic and say that's not the best idea. Yeah, Russia will be active in some way to help balkanize America, but the EU and UK depend on America too much to let Russia have it. Yeah, and the UK is, as much as people make fun of the UK, I think the UK definitely does have some hidden cards to play. I think that is true, GSP. I didn't think about that. That's true. Yeah, our governor isn't mandating masks because it's against freedoms. It's so reactionary. He's against his own economic interests. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a while since I've been, had to deal with Oklahoma on a living there level. But yeah, I mean, it's wild, man. It is wild. Speaking of like Fort Sill, I was talking about that. We saw, of course, there was a body discovered at Fort Hood, and it sounds like there was a female. Don't know if she was an NCO or whether she was, whatever, an officer. I'm not sure. But anyway, they found her body. Sister's mad as hell, of course, and she gave a press conference, and it's like, so now the hashtag shut down Fort Hood has happened. I know Fort Hood is down in Houston, and Fort Sill is about 400, 500 miles away. I get that, but it's like, it's yeah. And of course, I mean, Fort Sill has improved a little bit. I remember that, going through some of those barracks and whatnot, and I heard, of course, that they, there were roaches in some of them, this and that. And I remember, I never really saw that. I mean, it was just hot and miserable and everything else. But I guess, Fort Sill, they've cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, it's, I don't know, these are real sobering up hours right now. That's how I feel. It's just me sobering up and be like, maybe we need to back up off those things. I feel part of that way too, because when you hear people who kind of repeat the same things that you kind of sort of, as part of your tribe, you and UK are in a bad place while America is also domestic turmoil. All bets are off. Yeah. No sense of people thinking on a level beyond themselves. Kind of spoiled, really. Yeah, that's true. But basically what I was saying is that basically when you hear LARPers like Eric Stryker, and they use these words that, you're just supposed to use in like, brief descriptions, man. When you're sitting there calling people bug men, and you're just being, when you see that and you see someone do that on a stream and they're laughing at you, you can either just be so angered at that person. It's like, how dare you make fun of our culture? But then it's like, oh shit, maybe we are cringe. Maybe it's like, maybe those beliefs that I held were kind of cringe. It's like, I may still hold some other values, but it's like, maybe we should stop taking L's like that, But yeah. That's my take on it anyway, But that's just me. Maybe it's like, let's not be cringe, yeah. Soy NPC Bugman Wojak spamming. Yeah, exactly. It's like, once again, it's like you don't want to just be a follower. You want to actually try to be on your own and speak for yourself and be like, maybe not. I was thinking about that song. I'll only just say it the one time. That way I won't get in trouble. But the song from Dr. Dre 2001, Bitch Niggas. And, talking about basically how, and that first verse, or in the prelude to the first verse, Snoop Dogg saying, these dudes come to me and they're saying, so word on the street, word. I don't give a fuck what happened in no street. Get your own, stay to your own. That's very true. And of course, I mean that's a pretty good song because it's nice, laid back, and also it's just that's universal. So you got to be careful of these folks that are stop hating and looking hard. Stop scheming and looking hard. And it's true. Just hating on folks. This and that. It takes a lot of energy to be a hater. It's like for me, I'd be like, okay, maybe Vosh has a little bit of a point when he does that, but maybe it's like, I don't know. It's like, people like that, people like Vosh will get their just desserts. If people like Biden do get elected, and they are just as bad as Trump in other ways, not necessarily more racism, but in the aspect where, yeah, he's not going to get free college or whatever progressive things that you think he's going to give you. That's just me. Yeah, the most dangerous thing is there to be a white right-wing nut to come out now after 4 weeks of writing. Yeah. So why would you want to take control of the plantation instead of trying to end it? Yeah, I think I see what you're getting at, Cornhole. Yeah, I think it's Trump. I think Trump is better on the basis of acceleration. Yeah. Well, okay. I think so. Yeah, I think I saw that from that guy No More Libs 1975. I think he said the same type of things. Like, you need Trump to continue on. Because of course, that's where a lot of the resistance, hashtag resistance and all the other stuff has been built up. I mean, if you get another guy like Biden, then he'll restore enough of things to go on. But we don't know that for sure. I mean, then you get, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, what does the calculus say? What is, whatever say. It's like, like I say, with Joe Biden, it's like, if he did get elected, and he, at least according to what I've heard, is that he'll probably pick Kamala Harris as his running mate for VP. I hope, but the thing is, like, Wignats have been canceled in a lot of ways, and and LARPer people like Eric Stryker. I'm sorry to keep on going about Eric Stryker and all that, but it's like, kind of makes it, I'm not sure. Yeah, Trump is more rhetorically deconstructive towards the narrative of the president. Yeah, they're both puppets, but Biden neutralizes the left or any change in general. Yeah, he will sniff for every day he can't refute. Yeah, that's true. Like I say, I don't know. I am torn on it. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing about Trump. And it's like, I hate to do that, but it's like, I'm just so tired of him. It's like, look, let him go down to Mar-a-Lago and spend out the rest of his 5 or 6 years. I mean, who knows how long he has, but it's like, let him spend the rest of his 5 or 6 years. Yeah, Stryker. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat character. No, Eric Stryker is this guy who he's an extreme Wignat. He said this thing where it's like, I'm going to sit here and defend my folk when talking with Vosh. He's on the right stuff.biz, so that tells you enough right there. TRS. He does this show, Strike and Mike, with Mike Pinovich. So yeah, that's who Stryker is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just torn. Maybe I'm finally just showing my more centrist colors. But yeah, he's not even fully white. Yeah, full white. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, they say in like one of the docs that he was like Hispanic in actuality, or like like mestizo or castizo. I'm like, oh really? I don't know. It's like there's so much stuff that goes back and forth. It's like they showed him as like a Duganist because he was holding up his fist. I was like, oh my, but yeah, there's so much. Well, I haven't seen as much, but I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff out there about good old Eric Stryker, and of course, the whole, wheelchair meme and everything else. But anyway, I've talked enough about that fool. He is who he is. He can go beg for money on his his quote unquote news blog, National Justice, and he can do that. Yeah. No one in America is fully white. Yeah, That's true, yeah. Oh, Puerto Rican. Oh, really? I think he's Italian. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I say, there's so much stuff that's been told. Yeah, all this stuff about whiteness is cope for the fact that America has no identity. Yeah. So again, I don't completely disagree with that. That's why it's kind of silly for people like Nick Fuentes to try to be like, well, we need to protect white people, this and that. It's like you're Castizo yourself, man. It's like your mom's Italian. Or no. Your mom, I'm trying to think now. I think his mom's Italian and his dad's Hispanic, I think. I can't remember the details, but it's like, bro, what are you even talking about? You know? And of course, I mean, they doxed his dad and they showed him that he worked for some Chinese company or something like that, or at least a Chinese owned company. It's like, dang gum. Yeah. So it is silly to me. And it's just I don't know. Like I say, it's basically just sobering up a bit, and it's like, it's much more complicated than we think, and it's good to get out of those echo chambers of, just kind of just going out there, yeah. Be Muslim, to be honest, yeah, or be a Christian or something, yeah, I agree, yeah. I mean, Muslim. Being a Muslim doesn't sound so bad. That's why a lot of, Wignets, kind of went from the typical Republican, conservative viewpoint where it's just like, oh, well, we don't like Islam. And then it's like, oh, well, Islam is based, bro. And it's just like, oh, yeah, Sharia law is great. And, you keep out the degeneracy. So, I don't know, yeah. Minorities don't need an American identity. They already have their identities. It's whites. But yeah, basically that's what I wanted to say. I think I have said my piece. I think I'm just gonna go back to watching this guy Brendan Tenold, who does like videos, making fun of movies, this and that. Like I say, I keep on saying this, but ultimately, I'll see how probably gonna be closed tomorrow. So I guess all I can say is, be careful, tomorrow with July 4th being the fireworks. Everyone's going to be shooting off fireworks if you live in the city. As a video talking to Dugan earlier. Oh, really? Caleb Maupin, huh? Or Caleb Maupin, huh? I go back and forth on Caleb Maupin. I guess I can give him another look and give him another try, I think. I don't know. He doesn't have the same flair. But maybe I'll listen to some Caleb Maupin. I guess maybe I'll do that after I watch this video. Okay. I'll probably do that. Anyway, folks, I don't want to, I'm not going to get into the complications of America. It is what it is, basically, and we'll just have to make our do with what happens. And that's all I can say. Anyway, I will keep it there, and y'all have a good rest of the day. Thank you very much to Cornholio Fan 1995, Post Nosbol Judaism, GSP. I think that's it. Okay. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.